Welcome back to the True Crime Stories of the World. Today's case focuses on Peter Sutcliffe, infamously known as the Yorkshire Ripper. Between 1975 and 1980, Sutcliffe murdered 13 women and attempted to murder 7 others across northern England, particularly in West Yorkshire and Manchester. He typically attacked at night, using a hammer and knife, leaving communities living in fear. The investigation became one of the largest manhunts in British history, involving thousands of officers. It was significantly delayed by a hoaxer known as Wearside Jack, whose false messages misled police. Sutcliffe was arrested in 1981 after a routine police stop in Sheffield and later confessed. He was convicted of 13 murders and 7 attempted murders and sentenced to life imprisonment. His crimes drew comparisons to Jack the Ripper due to their brutality and the nationwide panic they caused. Sutcliffe remained in prison until his death in 2020, marking the end of one of Britain's most infamous criminal cases.
Early life and deviant behavior briefly. Born Peter William Sutcliffe in 1946. His early life showed some signs of misogynistic tendencies, including encounters with prostitutes and violent attacks predating his official murder spree. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. The first attacks pre-Ripper mention the initial assaults that, in hindsight, were early signs of his escalating violence, even if not linked at the time. For example, 1969 attack on a woman with a hammer. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. The Reign of Terror begins 1975 to 1980. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. The official reign of the Yorkshire Ripper began on October 30th, 1975, with the brutal murder of Wilma McCann in Leeds. She was a mother of 4, struck with a hammer and stabbed. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Sutcliffe's modus operandi typically involved attacking women, predominantly prostitutes but also others, with a hammer, and then mutilating their bodies with knives or screwdrivers. The sheer brutality and consistency of the attacks quickly revealed a serial killer was at large. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Key victims and locations. Briefly mention some of the more prominent victims to illustrate the geographical spread and type of victims. For example, Emily Jackson, Irene Richardson, Jane MacDonald, Jane Jordan, Vera Millward. Jacqueline Hill, his last victim. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. He claimed 13 lives and attempted to murder at least 7 others, spreading fear across West Yorkshire, Greater Manchester, and Lancashire. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. The choice of victims, initially largely sex workers, led to a tragically slow and sometimes misdirected police response, as attitudes towards these women affected the urgency of the initial investigations.
Scale of the investigation. What followed was arguably the largest and most expensive manhunt in British history. Over 350 detectives were assigned full-time, collecting hundreds of thousands of statements and interviewing thousands of suspects. Public fear and pressure. The public was gripped by fear. Women were advised not to go out alone after dark. The pressure on the police to catch the Ripper was immense and mounting with every new victim. Police errors and misdirections. Despite the monumental effort, the investigation was plagued by critical errors. Sutcliffe was interviewed by police 9 times during the 5-year period of his crimes, but always managed to evade suspicion. One of the most damaging misdirections came from the infamous Wearside Jack hoaxer. A series of letters and a tape recording, purporting to be from the Ripper, misled police for years, diverting resources to Sunderland and away from the real killer in Yorkshire. The focus on a suspect with a Geordie accent allowed Sutcliffe, who had a Yorkshire accent, to continue his spree unchecked. The capture, January 2, 1981. Finally, on January 2, 1981, Sutcliffe's reign came to an end. He was pulled over in Sheffield by police for having false number plates while with a sex worker. During questioning, officers became suspicious. Sutcliffe was found to have hidden weapons, a hammer and a knife, nearby. Confession and trial. After 2 days of intense questioning, Peter Sutcliffe confessed to being the Yorkshire Ripper, claiming he was on a mission from God to kill prostitutes. His trial was a sensation. He pleaded not guilty to murder on grounds of diminished responsibility due to paranoid schizophrenia, but was ultimately convicted of 13 murders and 7 attempted murders on May 22, 1981, receiving 20 concurrent life sentences.
The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Incarceration. Sutcliffe was initially sent to prison but was transferred to Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security psychiatric hospital, in 1984 after being diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. He spent 3 decades there before being deemed fit enough to return to prison in 2016. Specifically HMP Frankland. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Whole life order. In 2010, the High Court ruled that Sutcliffe would serve a whole life order, meaning he would never be released from custody. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Death November 13, 2020, after decades behind bars. Peter Sutcliffe died on November 13, 2020, at the age of 74. He had been suffering from numerous health problems, including diabetes and heart disease, and contracted COVID-19 in hospital. His death brought a sense of finality, but not closure, for many. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Impact and legacy. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. The Yorkshire Ripper case profoundly changed British policing, leading to significant reforms in how major investigations are conducted and the importance of accurate intelligence gathering. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Beyond the systemic changes, the human cost was immeasurable. The families of his victims endured decades of grief and public scrutiny. Their voices, often overshadowed by the sensationalism of the killer, remain a testament to the lasting horror of his actions. The voice you selected does not support this language. Please click the upper right corner to switch to another voice. Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, remains a chilling figure in criminal history, a stark reminder of the evil that can lurk in plain sight, and the complex, often flawed, struggle for justice. The story of Peter Sutcliffe is one of unimaginable terror, devastating investigative failures, and the enduring pain carried by the victims' families. His crimes left deep scars across northern England and exposed critical flaws in policing and media narratives at the time. It remains a dark chapter in British criminal history, one that continues to fascinate and horrify decades later. Beyond the headlines and the nickname, this case is ultimately about the lives that were taken and forever changed. The lessons drawn from the investigation reshaped major crime procedures in the UK and continue to influence how serial cases are handled today. It stands as a sobering reminder of the consequences of bias, misinformation, and missed opportunities in the pursuit of justice. Our new video goes live at 16 o'clock UK time and 11 a.m. USA time. If you find our true crime deep dives informative and thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Your support helps us continue bringing detailed and respectful coverage of cases from around the world. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload, and join us as we explore the stories that shaped criminal history.